In 1992, during his visit to Inner Mongolia, Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping said this: "The Middle East has oil and China has rare earths." And now, years later, Xi Jinping has the opportunity to use this as a trump card in the trade war. Well, no puns intended. You know, tariffs are the key weapon in the trade war arsenal. And the recent figure? Trump's slap of up to 245% tariffs on China. Now, apart from retaliatory tariffs, there's something that China can do to hurt the US. And Trump knows this. What is this super weapon? Rare earths. But why is it so important, and what is its role in shaking up the trade war? Stay tuned till the end of the video to know the answer to these questions and more. Unlike the name rare earths, they are not that rare. In fact, they are abundant in nature. Confused? Well, rare earths are a group of 17 chemically similar elements. What makes it rare is that it's very unusual to find them in pure form. Not just that, it's a very hazardous task to extract this. So what are they used for? You know, rare earths are crucial to manufacturing many high-tech products. For example, neodymium is used to make powerful magnets in loudspeakers, computer hard drives, and EV motors. It is also used in jet engines, which helps them to be smaller and more efficient. Yttrium and europium are used to manufacture television and computer screens because of the way they display colors. Rare earths also play a huge role in laser surgery and MRI scans, and most importantly, key defense technologies. Now, here is where China comes in. The country has a monopoly on extracting rare earths and refining them. In fact, China accounts for about 61% of rare earth production and 92% of their processing. It is important to note that both extracting and processing of these rare earths are costly and polluting. And this is the reason why other countries are hesitant to produce them. So China has control over rare earths. So what does this mean? Yes, they can decide which companies can and cannot receive supplies of rare earths. And China didn't wait to make use of the wind in their favor. The country passed an order. What is it? Well, from April 4th, all companies now have to get special export licenses in order to send rare earths and magnets out of the country. And this is going to hit the US really hard. In fact, according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, this leaves the US vulnerable because there is no capacity outside China to process heavy rare earths. And historically speaking, the US has heavily relied on China for the imports of all rare earth compounds and metals. Between 2020 and 2023, 70% of rare earth imports to the US were from China. And in US, defense technologies including F-35 jets, Tomahawk missiles, and Predator unmanned aerial vehicles all depend on these minerals. So what can the US do? Trump has ordered to boost US production of critical minerals to reduce reliance on imports. But will this help? Well, US manufacturing will be hit hard since the prices of critical rare earth materials are expected to surge. Clearly, Trump is on his way to find a solution. This week, he ordered an investigation. It was regarding the national security risks posed by the reliance on such critical minerals. The US has one operational rare earth mine, but it does not have the capacity to separate heavy rare earths. And interestingly, the US was the largest producer of rare earths back in the 1980s. But as China began to dominate in terms of scale and cost, these companies exited the market. So now, if not China, how else can the US access these rare earths? The answer might be Ukraine. And that's why Trump is so keen to sign this minerals deal with Ukraine and reduce the dependency on China. His eye is on Greenland, and it's no secret. And Greenland has the 8th largest reserve of rare earth elements. China's hold on rare earths is pretty huge, and the US might have to pay a cost for this. What do you think are the other interesting political and economic moves in the China-US trade war? Let us know.